Tijani. He will be joining us, or his representative. You are welcome, sir. Then we also expect Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mama, who also will be joining us, then I want to introduce our president, the president of Nigeria Computer Society, who is live with us in person of Dr. Muhammad Siraju Aliu. He's the fellow of the Nigerian Computer Society. He's right with us. He is the brain behind this particular program. And you are welcome, sir. Also, I want to welcome Dr. Charles Onyeku. He is the Deputy President, Nigerian Computer Society, who is live with us. He's also a fellow of Nigerian Computer Society. You are welcome, sir. Then I want to welcome Professor Adesina Simon Sodia, who is our immediate past president. He's also a fellow of Nigerian Computer Society. You are also welcome. I want to also use this opportunity to welcome all our NEC members that are present online. To welcome, I can see Adesina Simon here. I can see a lot of people, a lot of our NEC members who is right there with us. I can see Dr. I think I can see Professor Oludele Awodele. I can see Dr. Okoye present with us, and a host of others who are still with us, and some will be joining us. Then I want to use this opportunity to also welcome some of the members of the College of Fellows of the association that are joining us. You are welcome. Then I want to also welcome the elders and past president of this association. We have elders and past presidents who are also joining us live. You are all welcome. We appreciate every one of us. You are welcome to this program. Then I want to introduce the technical presenters. We have two powerful technical presenters that are going to discuss with us this morning in person of Professor Abejide Ade Ibijola. He is a professor of artificial intelligence and applications from Johannesburg Business School, South Africa. Also, I want to introduce to us the second presenter, who is Dr. Salisu Maman Abdurrahman. He is an associate professor of artificial intelligence, Faculty of Computing and Mathematical Science, Woodhill, Kano State. These are the two powerful presenters that will deal with all this topic that we have with us. And we have our moderator also, Dr. Chika Yinka Banjo from University of Lagos, and the second moderator that I've been discussing with us, Dr. Ijoma Emiagi from Federal Polytechnic, Nekede. You are all welcome. We welcome all the participants from African and outside this nation, outside wherever you are joining us, you are welcome. I want to use this opportunity to inform us that we are going to learn a lot. We are going to have a lot of fun in this particular program. There will be question and answer. So please feel free to relate your experience with us. You are welcome. I'm using this period to thank you for even hooking with us. And we have a lot of programs which some of us have been witness, which we have been shown to us. You are all welcome to all our events. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are trying to make sure we just have about 3 presentations to be made, and we intend to round up in good time and on the right schedule. Thank you, Mr. Adekunle, for setting the stage with the introduction. Now, next, we are honored to have with us the chairman of the Education and Manpower Development Committee of NCS in the person of Dr. Mrs. Florence Babalola. She's a fellow of the Nigerian Computer Society. Please join me in welcoming her to deliver the welcome address. And my dear elders and gentlemen and ladies, we will love to have this shortened so that we can keep with the presentations. And ma'am, please, we would like you to take the floor now. Dr. Mrs. Florence Babalola, thank you. After that, we'll be having the opening remark immediately to take the stage, the president of the Nigerian Computer Society, immediately after the welcome address from her. We're having the president in the person of Mohammed Suraj Aliyu, fellow of the Nigerian Computer Society, will be also giving us his opening remark. Welcome address by Dr. Mrs. Florence Babalola. Thank you. Are you here with us, ma'am? In the absence of that, is the president of the Nigerian Computer Society, Mohammed Suraj Aliyu. Is he online? Is he in the room with us? The Zoom platform. Are you here with us,
yes,
sir?
Yes.
All right. Sir,
yes.
Please, you have the floor.
Us.
All right, sir. Opening remarks from you, sir. Sir, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, sir. Please unmute. We're expecting to hear from the welcome address, a brief welcome address from the chairman of Education of NCS, a fellow of the Nigerian Computer Society, online, and also we're expecting to hear from the number one person of the Nigerian Computer Society for his opening remarks. In the absence of these distinguished gentlemen and lady of NCS, addressed by the chairman of the forum, am I being heard?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ijoma. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, President.
Okay, good. So can I go ahead?
Yes, loud and clear, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, the moderator, for this very wonderful work that you are doing. And let me start by, first of all, welcoming all the participants. The Deputy President, Nigerian Computer Society, the representative of the Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, the representative of the Honorable Commissioner of Honorable Minister of Education, the immediate past president of Nigerian Computer Society in person of Mr. Adesina Shudia, my distinguished NEC members, distinguished fellows and elders in our midst this morning, my distinguished fellow members of Nigerian Computer Society, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to each and every one of us. I want to use this opportunity to welcome each and every one of us to this very wonderful forum. It's a forum in which we organize, in which all of us will come together and rub minds and discuss some of the current things that are happening within the field of education. And this year is not different from the other years that we have been running this program. We decided to come up with this topic of discussion, just to find a way in looking at how we can contribute our quota in the development of our profession, and at the same time, how can we give back to our community, to our society. So I want to use this opportunity to welcome each and every one of us for joining, and to thank you for finding time to join us, and all those that have been supporting us, including both the speakers that we invited and participants that are here to listen to us. I want to use this opportunity to thank each and every. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. Loud and clear.
Okay. I want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of us for coming in and for finding time to join this program. This is the third version of the program. It's a program that we have been running for almost, I think, 3 years ago. This is the third version of it, and we are determined to improve it each and every year. And God's willing, we try to keep in the best we can to make sure we improve our profession. Please, who is that interrupting? We can hear you. So without wasting our time, I think I will call on the moderator so that we can continue the program. And I want to use this opportunity to declare the program open so that we can continue our discussion after the brief remarks by some of our guests that have been invited. So thank you very much, and I wish us a very fruitful deliberation.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the good work you have been doing, and may God strengthen you more and more. And next on the agenda is the opening remark. Now, I would like to invite to the stage the president of Nigeria. The president of the Nigerian Society just did justice to that particular aspect of the agenda. That was the president of the Nigerian Society, in the person of Muhammad Siraj Aliyu, a fellow of the Nigerian Computer Society. And now we will be having address by the chairman of the forum. Our next, who is a distinguished personality, the Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mama. Please join me in welcoming Professor Mama to address us on this occasion. We're honored to have you, sir. You have the floor, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Okay. Next on the agenda is addressed by the special guest of honor. We are privileged to have a special guest with us today. Please welcome Dr. Bosun Tijani, the Honorable Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, for his special address. Dr. Bosun, sir, are you online, sir? We're honored to have you. Okay. I know that during the course of this program, they'll come online too. I believe so. So we move on. Now we're on the part of the agenda, the goodwill messages. We will now hear brief goodwill messages from representatives of various organizations who support our mission. We have from the various organizations. Do we have any on board? From the Computer Professional Registration Council of Nigeria, from the National Information Technology Development Agency, the NIDA, National Universities Commission, NUC, Universal Basic Education Commission, the UBEC, National Board for Technical Education, MBTE, the National Commission for Colleges of Education, NCCE, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, the TRCN, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED-Fund, Committee of Vice Chancellors, the Nigerian Association of Computing Students, Computer Science Students, or Computing Students, the NACOS, etc. We are privileged to have this various organizations who have been supporting our mission. Please, you have the floor now. Goodwill messages. All right. We're transiting to the technical presentations now. During the course of these technical presentations, I believe my second, Dr. Mrs. Chika, will also be around to assist in this assignment of moderation given to us by the body, NCS. As we move forward, let's delve into the heart of this forum, our technical presentations. The first presentation it will focus on the theme, artificial intelligence and the future of education. Now, before we go into that, there are a few, a short profile, a bio of our presenters. And I will be reading through. You give me a few minutes so that we can introduce them properly to us. On one of our presenters, Professor Adebiji Ade-Ibijiola, is a professor of artificial intelligence and applications based in South Africa from Johannesburg Business School. Professor Abejedi holds a PhD in computer science and artificial intelligence from the University of Johannesburg, Witwatersrand, South Africa. Prior, he had received a bachelor's honors degree with first class in computer science and master's in computer science with distinction in research, specializing in serious games and artificial intelligence algorithms. He is currently a full professor of artificial intelligence and applications at the Johannesburg Business School, University of Johannesburg, South Africa. He is rated by the National Research Foundation, the NRF. Right, he's rated by, a minute please. He is rated by the NRF of South Africa, and he has published 80 articles plus in recognized outlets on algorithm, AI tools, and innovations for solving real-world problems. His research has attracted 800 citations, yes, and resulted in several registered intellectual properties and commercialized innovations. Please, let's make welcome Professor Adebiji for the first presentation for today. Thank you. Are you here with us, sir?
Hello, ma. Hello, ma. We have a representative from NBT.
Yes, okay, I am here. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Thank you for coming, sir. Professor, our able professor from South Africa, please, a few minutes, and then we'll get back to you. We just read your bio. We might repeat it again, but for now, let's have the representative from the National Board for Technical Education address us with a goodwill message. Thank you for coming on board, sir.
All right. Good morning, all. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir. You're welcome.
Okay. All right. My name is Aliyu Hassan, the General Manager of the NBT Center of Excellence. I'm representing the Executive Secretary, Professor Idris Mohammed Bugaja, and he has directed me to read his goodwill message to the forum. I am going to read his message. I am honored to extend my warm greetings to all participants at the third Technology Enhanced Learning Computing Education Forum. The chosen theme, Artificial Intelligence in Education, Implications and Strategies for Rapid National Growth, couldn't be more relevant in our current reality. In the midst of the fourth industrial revolution, embracing technological advancement is not just a choice, but a necessity for sustained progress. The transformative power of AI in education, as exemplified by innovations like ChatGPT, is reshaping the educational landscape. In the TVET sector, we acknowledge the need to align with this advancement. This recognition has driven our recent initiative, such as the unbundling of HND computer science, leading to introduction of programs like AI, cybersecurity and data protection, software and web development, and networking and cloud computing, all responding to high market demands. To ensure that our learners are well prepared for the demands of the present and future, we have introduced blended learning in TVET. Additionally, our commitment to technology-driven quality assurance reflects our dedication to enhancing monitoring and evaluation processes for optimal outcomes. Integrating technology into teaching and learning is a pivotal step towards elevating the quality of education. The introduction of AI marks a transformative shift, demanding us to rethink traditional assessment methods. In TVET, where practical knowledge comprises a significant portion of our curricula, adapting and ensuring the authenticity of student works becomes paramount. As we gather for this forum, I am confident that the discussions will navigate the complexities of AI in education, uncovering both its advantages and challenges. I anticipate the emergence of valuable recommendations that will contribute to the production of highly skilled and competent graduates essential for the rapid growth of our economy. Thank you for the opportunity to address this esteemed gathering. I wish you all a productive and insightful deliberation. Professor Idris Mohammed Bugaje, Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education. Thank you very much. So I hope my speech was gotten.
Yes, we can get your speech. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Over to you, moderator. Hello. I think Professor Adekide is online. Can you?
Yes, I am, yes. And I'm ready to go. I think the moderator is muted.
You can go ahead. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I'm just going to share my screen. If I can please get a confirmation if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes, we can.
Fantastic, fantastic. Good afternoon to everybody. Allow me to stand on the existing protocols. My name is Abejide Ade Bijola. It's a pleasure to be here today. Special thanks to Professor Shodia for inviting me for this session to come and share a few things with you. It's a great time to be alive. That's what I would say, because on my side, when we look at the way we have a chance as a continent, as a country, Nigeria, now to catch up, I think it's left to us to take everything now, because with the technologies we have in the current day and time, and with the desire that we have, we can actually do a lot now. So I'm just going to dive right straight into it. The topic that I discussed with the organizers to talk about was like the future of AI using it with education, or education's future with AI. And I thought it'd be nice to first, talk about the fancy things, which is AI, the things AI can get done for us. And then talk about the problems we have that could come in the way of that. And finally, share some of the work that we are doing here at the University of Johannesburg in my research lab, the work we are doing to kind of use AI that are created locally by ourselves to aid us in teaching and learning. So let's get on to it. I'm going to give a brief introduction of my background, where I'm coming from. Then I will talk about AI in case some people in the audience don't have like clear ideas of where it starts and where it stops. It's quite a very simple introduction I'm going to do here. Nothing technical. Then I would describe the continent, because again, most of the problems we face as a country, Nigeria, you might be surprised that it's shared by over almost all of the African countries. In fact, some are luckier than we are, but most of the countries also face similar issues. So we discussed Africa in its context, and I described it as what I call the timeless dimension. The whole idea that you can read a newspaper article in 1982 and read another one in 2024, and the headline just looks almost the same. And if that is the case, if your environment is timeless like that, it has some very big consequences, one of which is the problems that we currently have, which I'm going to highlight. Then I'll talk about the solutions that we have on our side, on where I work here in Johannesburg, South Africa. Then some suggestions, conclusions, and reflections. So introduction, like I've been introduced, I'm a computer scientist. I've been in the game for about 16 years. I like to consider myself to be a computer whisperer, theory and practice. Like every other scientist out there, I love my theory, but then I always look forward to putting a tool on the shelf. So I like the idea of theory that has practice in it. My interest is in AI and applications, algorithms in general, creating technologies for the society, for industries and the companies and whoever needs them. And they often take the form of methods, apps, games, anything on your computer screen. That's what I'm mostly interested in. Professionally, I'm an academic here at the University of Johannesburg. I'm a professor here. And I do some work for the government as well, in the industry and all of that. So this is pretty much what it looks like. Postgraduate supervision, like every other academic, I do some competitions. I try to take students out to get experiences. My research is here. I do a lot of mentoring even in my teaching space for younger academics coming up. Then I have this social project that is called Grit Lab Africa. Let me move this out of the way. With this Grit Lab Africa social project, I often just reach out to many African countries, many young people that have a lot of talent, but they lack direction, kind of transfer some skills to them and all of that. I also spend some time trying to create jobs and raise funding for equipment for students and blah, blah, blah. It continues. So that's me in a nutshell. Now I'm just going to talk about AI very briefly. My best definition is always machines with minds. Humans are the ones we know that have minds, and if machines can do what humans can do, then that would have been a great dream of AI coming into existence. So the things humans do majorly are in these three categories: mundane tasks, things that humans don't know, they just do it. Things like just looking at someone, that's computer vision, for example. Formal tasks, things that we have to go to school to learn how to do them. Expert tasks, things like medical diagnosis, that is based on not just our knowledge, but also our experiences. If computers can do all of those things, we can consider those computers very intelligent. So the goals of AI are these things, many more. One of which is to speak our languages. If AI can speak our languages, we call that natural language processing. If AI can move around like we do, just take a walk, run and jump, that's pretty much robotics like we do. Planning like we do planning. When we plan, we move things around, we schedule stuff. So if AI can do that. Machine learning, if AI can learn from our data sets and be as smart as we are, like you've recently seen ChatGPT. Knowledge reasoning and thinking, computer vision, problem solving, playing games like we do, and those are the goals. So you might have seen AI being referred to in those contexts in the media, and that's pretty much what it's about. The application is in everywhere. Education is the topic for today. However, you will find AI in businesses, in economics, in society at large. In healthcare, there's a lot of breakthrough in AI for healthcare. You will find AI in governments and warfare, and the list goes on. So AI in education, I'm just going to touch on a few trends. And after I touch on the trends, then we will now look at things that would stop us from getting these things that are on this list. This is our wish list. This list is a beautiful list. It's a list that we wish that we can deploy to every secondary school in Nigeria, every university in Nigeria, every college of education, every polytechnic. The challenges are there, however, and I'm going to talk about that. But this is the sweet part. So personalized and adaptive learning platforms, that's when AI can understand you and say, I know you learn very slow. I know you prefer, you you're not getting the assessments because the level is on 6. I'm going to drop the assessment to level of 3 so that you can understand them, and then I take it to level 4 and 5. So AI can actually learn from how you're learning and then can adapt to yourself. Intelligent tutoring systems, this is another powerful one. This is when you allow the AI to just take the role of the academic or the teacher, and you can ask it questions and it can break it down for you, and things that human experts don't have the time to do, the AI can explain over and over again. Automatic grading systems and assessment systems, when this is one of the things that consumes the time of our teachers and our lecturers. They spend time marking, and sometimes due to fatigue, they are inconsistent with their marking. If you can get machines to do that, that's one of the trends and the goals of AI in education and the futures we're looking at. Predictive analytics for student successes. If I have seen 100,000 copies of the same student before, based on their traits, where they're from, and their secondary school marks or their WAEC marks, and their family structure, I should be able to predict what subjects that student might struggle with. In fact, in my space, we had something like that recently, where we were able to predict which students in first year were going to struggle and fail in computer programming. So we then were able to intervene very early before they failed. So that's pretty much adaptive, predictive analytics of student successes. If you want to learn any language by yourself, AI can help you. You can pronounce words and AI will just smile and say, no, it's not that way, it's this way. Virtual and augmented reality in education. Most of this current day technology contains AI as well. And in education, I'll show you some of the work later on that we do in my space, where we had the courtroom inside virtual reality. So this has found a lot of current applications in AI. VR and AR have found great applications in education recently. Chatbots for student support. Students they have questions every time. It's always nice to have chatbots for them, for topics and for also admin, so that we can free up teachers or lecturers' time. That's also a trend. Curriculum enhancement. If we know how nice a curriculum did or how bad it did, then we can feed the data back into analytics and use it to enhance the curriculum to look at which aspects students struggle with. Procedural content generation. That's pretty much how when you use AI algorithms to generate content for games, so that those games are replayable. What that means is that if you play those games 10 times, they give you a fresh feel every time. You get the goosebumps when you play them every time. The characters are changing, the environment is changing. And serious games can be used in education and other fields. So those algorithms find a good use here as well. And the ones I'm sure most of you have seen on the internet or around you are robotic kits for high school, like first graders or primary school students, secondary school students, where they can learn logical thinking by dragging and dropping and using robotic kits to program those lines of code. So now the wish list is done. Those are the nice things. The not so nice things are the things that we know right now. If we decide that we're going to do this, they are going to stop in our way of getting those things done. So I call it Africa in a timeless dimension, because these problems have been here forever and we are still not solving them. So the first one is having a monetary value to education itself. So how much is our knowledge worth? It's an interesting question. So most of our young people go to varsity, they study all sorts of things. They memorize, they get distinctions, first class. At the end of the day, they cannot translate that knowledge to any monetary value. And given the fact that we have poverty, not just in Nigeria, but all around Africa, 54 countries of them, it would be nice to kind of turn our research, our teaching and learning, and kind of turn it towards where it can be beneficial, which is to make money from it. The second one that's timeless is moving our teachers with time. We're always very quick to kind of just blame that lecturer, blame that teacher. But then the point is most times when you look around, the pay is horrible. The salary is very poor compared to international standards. There are no career development plans for them. You see a young person who starts a job at the age of 26 as an assistant lecturer in a university. And then there's nobody who's talking to them, like, what are you going to do? How are you going to complete your PhD? How can we be of help? And then there are no career development. So how can we even improve your teaching for you? And if teaching is not improved, it means there's going to be a feedback loop of poor lecturers that are going to train our young people, and then they become also very poor in knowledge. So hiring passionate people is another one. We will hire people with high marks, which I like. I like people with good grades. However, if someone wants to be in the bank, let them work in the bank. I believe teaching and being in education is a passionate calling. So if that's not your space, I don't think you should be around to then ruin many people's lives and be grumpy and all of those things. So those are things we have to get right. Those are timeless problems. And feedback loop, okay. Funding for educational institutions or structures. We know for a fact we don't have enough money. Most of our institutions are subsidized by government, but yet we don't have enough money. So the buildings are dilapidated, the roads are bad within the campus, there is no access control, and you find cultism being a big problem. So we need funding in that space. We need as much money as we can get to equip the labs and all of those nice things. Governance, leadership, and accountability, self-explanatory. With a new vice chancellor, that is great. A campus just changes. A new governor of a state that has a passion for education, everything changes as well. And when there's accountability, even on the ground, the lecturers themselves can know, if I do this wrong, there will be a penalty for it. But most of the people at the bottom as well, lifting the weight, they know that no matter what they do, nothing is going to happen. So they just lean on to those bad practices, which is bad for education. It's a timeless problem. Then curriculum, timely curriculum, it's always a nice one to have. Something that looks at what the society needs and something that looks at what the industry needs before we come up with all these things that we're teaching for the past 40 years. So still some timeless issues around Africa that you find a lot of it in Nigeria: infrastructure and environment. We keep saying fourth industrial revolution, AI, but the problem is some people right there in some villages have not even witnessed the second industrial revolution. So for those guys, it's like a Stone Age scenario for them. So, and they're the majority of the population. So if we need to plan for those guys as well. Inequality, electricity, we know a lot about that as Nigerians. Infrastructure, I've mentioned that. Getting laptops to the hands of the young person that needs to use them. Those are all timeless problems. And if we focus only on education or on technology or AI, we might realize that we make the same mistakes we've made for the past 20 years. So for the past 20 years, we've had modern day technologies. We've had 4G networks. We've had mobile phones, even that we move with in our hands. We've had even VR. We've had a lot of things, but serious games, for example, how many of those have we integrated into our teaching and practices? And there are very few of them. In fact, most of our systems are still paper-based anyway, so that's a timeless issue. Insecurity, our young people are afraid in schools. They get kidnapped while they're trying to study. Where is the youth as well? So sometimes as young people, we blame the government and institutions. But one thing we have to accept as well is that our young people are different from the ones 30, 40 years ago. So we call these guys today, we call them Gen Zs, for example. So those guys, mostly they're on social media, they're playing video games, GTA, Call of Duty. Some of them are not skilled workforce, so they graduate without any skill and with masters and PhDs. That is giving us a lot of problems as well. Youth representation in politics, young people stay away from politics, which I think it's a bad idea. I think if you know you can contribute something, you can move closer to the corridors of power and suggest how you think we can solve problems as well, because fresh ideas are needed and young people will be the ones to run things in future anyways. So it's always a nice one. And then you find them with unpleasant internet activities. You know what I'm talking about, going out there, chatting to some random person and asking them for money. So for Africa, one of the timeless issue is also that the AI that we are enjoying today was not created with us in mind. The data set is from Europe, America, Asia, but very few is known about Africa. So that's why some translations are not good on Google Translate. That's why some generation of images are not so accurate when it has to do with people that look like us. Indigenous knowledge as well is not present in those systems. That's knowledge that we bring from home, our own heritage, our own people and their beliefs. That's absent from those AI systems. So we've seen the nice part, we've seen some challenges we have. It would be nice to now talk about how we can solve. First thing is, if you have a lot of money, we can throw money at this thing. We can decide to build infrastructure, more buildings, more laboratories, pay lecturers better. I don't think we can ask lecturers to do better when we are paying them what the numbers are looking like right now, which is very bad compared to even corporate Nigeria. It's very, very far apart. So if we have the money, we throw money at it. We need to involve young people. We need to train them. And I'm not talking of traditional training. We need something fast-paced, something that is tailored towards the future. It doesn't have to be a qualification of its own. It could be a training 3-6 months. We need to let these young people step into the space and innovate. And those things, we commercialize them. We hold the IP of those things. We need to devise accountable structures. So the whole idea that one person is the final say, and when they say what they want to say, nobody gets to challenge them, is affecting our educational structure. So we need to review those structures and monitor what comes out of it over time. Create AI tools of our own. Like I said, we need our own representation and our voices in AI. And there are many initiatives going around, but then those infrastructural issues are in the way, because the young people that are supposed to be driving this conversation, they are only consumers of technology. They buy the new iPhone, they buy the new video game, but they're not getting into the creation part of these things, which is where we need to be. Then we need to have a total revamp of education. Like I said, take care of the lecturers if you want them to deliver more, and then talk about career growth, and also get motivational people to step into the classroom and change the mindset of these young people. So I want to now share some of the work from my space. In my space, we have what we call Grit Lab. Grit is the whole idea that effort is everything. I've never believed in the whole idea of someone is brilliant, someone is not. In most cases, the guys that we refer to as brilliant are people that have put in the effort. And the guys that say they are not brilliant, they've not actually done much. So if you look at the data points there, you know anyone that chooses to do anything can actually get to do it. And then that's the whole idea of Grit Lab. So what we set up is to get mentoring going for these young people at the very early stage. Reach out to some kids across Africa. We have some of them in Johannesburg with us in South Africa. And build this unusual African classroom where every young person has their head in the game. They have access to machines. They have access to the state-of-the-art technology and to skills, and we can then create technologies to solve our problems ourselves. And don't have to look forward to China to do these things for us. So Grit Lab, this is how we run it. We train while you're still studying by the side. If you're an undergrad, training is balanced with incentives. Students that do well get to make money because we get projects from government and the industry. The students before graduating, then they build a portfolio of real-life projects and experience that they take with them to the industry when they graduate, or some of them start up their own small businesses. So at first we did it only for STEM domains, science, technology, engineering, and so, and then later we then moved to all the domains. So last year we were so lucky. We got about 477 young people studying across different faculties, students that are studying politics, some are studying philosophy, agricultural science, biological sciences, everything. They were able to teach them how to code, teach them problem solving with algorithms and Python. And they came out very strong, and they went back into their spaces and did fresh and new things. So in this space as well, we've had the government showing interest on training unemployed graduates in introductory programming, and some of them have gone on to get jobs after. Then we've also been able to train small businesses how to use AI to improve themselves. This one was quite an interesting project for me. This was from the South Africans, Gauteng government. That was last year. So I got this project and I'm still busy with it in February. This February is actually the last completion date of this project. And when this project was done, the small businesses could use AI to improve their output and productivity, presentation of themselves on social media for their marketing purposes, and the list goes on. So we have evidences in my space in IP creation, entrepreneurship, jobs, commercialized products, and the list goes on. So the philosophies that drive us is one, we only deal with necessary theory. I don't think, philosophically speaking, I don't think Africans have the luxury of too much theory these days, memorizing some proofs that you could actually Google those proofs and read through them. So we only deal with necessary theory. Whatever is not necessary is not foundational knowledge. We just discard it and we move towards something that is practical that we can use to solve a societal problem. Training to create and produce innovation, that's the target. And we have a face-to-face model That's at the Johannesburg Business School, GRIT Lab. So last year we had 477 across disciplines, like I said, and we graduated 249 of them. It is rigorous. So most young people like to come at first and they drop off, and we try to encourage them, and they fall off because they don't want to be encouraged, and that's also okay. Some of them come back later to do better because they look at other people and they say, these guys are doing well, so I would like to come back. Across Africa, 11 countries, 38 institutions, we were able to train 116 students as well. And right now, GRIT Lab is in 25 African countries. Historically, it's touched on those countries. This is what our 249 students looked like on our graduation day last year. These guys now felt like they had weapons in their hands because they are skilled. They can go on and create a piece of technology to solve a problem, and then the future looks brighter. So African coverage, historically, we're in these countries. Nigeria is obviously, we're in Nigeria. We have mentor students at University of Lagos, University of Ibadan. Last year, Thomas Adeoye University, Pan Atlantic University, I can go on. I think about 13 universities in Nigeria, but this year when the call goes out, we hope to get more from Nigeria as well. So all the way to Somalia, Ethiopia, and all the way to the south, we're training in those spaces. And here are examples of results of tools that were built by, wait for it, not 5-year-old experienced software developers in the industry, 19, 18-year-old young people. They were part of this program. They learned some first core fundamental training in algorithms and problem solving. We moved them up to web development, mobile development, virtual reality, augmented reality. Anytime they're not in the classroom, they're in the lab doing this work. And this was a project from the government, Chemicasita it's called. It's a government department in South Africa that deals with chemical industry applications. And it was an experience to teach students in secondary school electrochemistry in virtual reality. So you have your cathode and your anode, and you run the experiment, and you see the copper and the zinc reaction happen, and the electrons are exchanged, and all of those things. So, and our students enjoyed creating this for other students to use and to use as a learning tool in education. Also, this is our campus. This is the JBS Innovation Lab campus, and we created this in virtual reality as well. So if you have not been to our campus before, you can experience it in VR. Right now, we're putting this on the internet so that we can have our teaching and learning for masters and PhD students that are distant. We can have them come to seminars in VR within the building itself. So one of the nice application. This one was from last year. The University of Johannesburg invests money in feeding of students. It's also one of the social problems, if you think of it. Most of the students that you complain that they are not doing well, some of them have not even eaten for about 2 days, and it's the reality across Africa. So in South Africa, it's also the same thing is the problem. And the university has a plan that brings food parcels to the university, and then we wrote an app to help distribute those food parcels. Before this app was written by our students, some students are muscular, they push other students out of the queue to get more food. Mostly the girls were pushed out of the queue, which then created that imbalance. Some people also don't deliver enough, all the total packets, so it becomes a problem. But now with this tool, we can monitor everything with dashboards and all of that. And as for opportunities, while the students are studying, they make money. This is 1.5 million rands. In Nigeria, that would be about 110 million naira. With this 33 students for the year of 2023, last year, while they were studying, they would come to the lab, and that was the stipend they made. Most of them were able to pay their own fees while they studied. This was from 2022 as well. I think this 1.1 million. So we cannot do better year on year. And then we're speaking to sponsors as well that want to pay to see the students sit in the lab and do work as opposed to see them roam around the street. We were the ones who launched the AI Institute of South Africa. So South Africa came up with this idea that AI is becoming such a spoken about topic. It's also becoming like a problematic situation that we are still here dealing with all these problems. Now AI is taking the jobs that are left. What's going to happen to the future? So AI, the cabinet of the presidency of South Africa launched this idea of Artificial Intelligence Institute of South Africa. It was launched in 2022. So as you can see, these young people here are from my lab. They were there to exhibit and to show the government what's possible. We were instrumental in the launch. like I said, we get them the 4IR gadgets of the day. We get them drones, humanoids. They get to play with these things and they get to then envision what's going on. Exit opportunity, they become software engineers immediately after leaving school, after leaving university. That's so powerful because then they don't get into internship positions. They almost become like mid-level software engineers, solution architects, or business developers, something like that. And some of them even study things that are completely different from those things. And then they still get to get those opportunities in the society. So I'm wrapping up. Suggestions, conclusions, and reflections. I think the world is changing so fast. I don't want to be negative and say that we are behind, even though I know we are behind. I know the reason why we are so behind is because the world is so fast. We are catching up with everything. We're catching up with technology, infrastructure, all of those things. However, in the civilized world, there are already structures, the law works for everybody, the policing works, everything works. People just go to school and they focus on studying. Most times within our context in Nigeria, studying is one of the things you have to focus on. Other things are there. You have to focus on insecurity, maybe some victimization here and there and all of those things. So we have to train in numbers. We have to train them all. Then this one touches on curriculum. Solving for X is good. Like I said, I love my theory. However, I believe that solving societal problems is even better. Africa is behind, I think, is the noble thing to do. I think there's this withdrawal from talking about curriculum, and most people are just saying they don't want to engage. But then we have to talk about it, and we have to remove those things that are junks that we have in those curriculums that we are not going to need one day, and replace them with current day stuff. So good training is always a good part to have, because if you train skilled hands, they can help you train those young people. If you have people that are not trained and not solid in those positions, then you don't have to look forward to the future. You know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, in future, all these young people would then be 35 and 50 years old, but they won't be solid because the guys that trained them themselves did not have the opportunity to improve themselves. So invest in skilled staff members, pay more salaries. I think that one is the first place to go, as far as I'm concerned. So I think great teaching should be in the forefront as well when you're thinking of a future with AI in education, because then you can close the loop, because a great teacher teaches a student to be great, and they come back and become professors as well, then they teach other students to be great. You can't give what you don't have. There's a saying like that. So focus on solving the matter, one life constraint, important problems. So I know people do research in areas that are not so interesting, even when they're not passionate about it. I think it's a prison in one's mind. I think it's nice to do research and teaching in areas that are trendy and something one is passionate about, picking problems to solve that are problems that matter to society, because it's one lifetime anyway, you have nothing to lose. But if you're doing miserable stuff at work, that means you don't want to come to campus to teach, you don't want to go to school to teach. It becomes a problem for everybody. So multidisciplinary is one thing I've been exploring recently, and it's been exciting. Like I said, we trained across faculties. I think we can mix it up and talk about AI and politics, AI and agriculture, virtual reality and history. We can talk about many things. We don't always have to think, here are engineers and scientists, then here are the guys in religious studies. No, these days everything is mixed up. Everyone that wants the skill can be weaponized with the skill, and we can make more money for everybody to be okay. Institutions, I think our spaces have to be different. Our spaces right now, the cultures are not good. And again, it's across Africa. I've traveled Africa quite a bit. So we need maker spaces, we need innovation hubs, we need incentives. When students know that if I go and play, I get nothing. If I go to that space and I do some work, I'm going to get a lot. Student startups needs to be encouraged, tech entrepreneurship. We need to do benefit sharing with intellectual properties. When students do very well, I know we do that quite well in Nigeria. We give prizes out, awards and prizes, but sometimes you see those prices are like 5,000 naira, you know, something that is not worth fighting for. So we can get the corporate into that space to assist and sponsor those awards to get something substantial. Visibility as well. We need to get all these high school, secondary schools and universities to the internet for visibility, for people to see them. And whatever our students are creating, we need to put them out there as well. So innovation always brings a buzz. Reflections. I think the jobs are getting extinct. I don't think it's a way to scare anybody with every AI tool that we create. That's why it's important that we create our own AI tools. Because if we do, we're going to use our own workforce. Then it means we have to train our own people to do it. And then the jobs is created at that level. The jobs are created at that level. However, if we allow the West and these guys to do it for us, China to do it for us, then it's going to be on the shelf for us to buy. And we don't have enough money to go and buy them. And even when we retreat back to agriculture, it still won't help because they'll bring drones that we cannot create into our farms, and we still have to pay for those drones. So we need to look at how to do things ourselves. Grit is missing. Like I said, young people need to be reminded about hard work and dedication as the only way. We need to bring it back into traditional training, and skills for all is possible. Like I said, I strongly believe it. And anytime you're around in Johannesburg, you're invited to visit us in the Johannesburg Innovation Lab. This is one picture from us about a couple of months ago. And thank you very much for listening. Chair, are you there?
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Chair. Thank you. I can see.
Thank you so much, Professor, for a well-delivered lecture. My name is Chika Ikabanjo. I'm one of the facilitators for today. And I'm so particular about your topic because it has to do with AI in education, and you have given us quite a lot this morning. And going forward, we would like to see if we can get questions from people, but I, for one, I have questions. Why I do have questions is because, one, we are doing some work in AI in education in University of Lagos, where I am from. We have this grant from IDRC, and we are supposed to build hubs in Sub-Saharan Africa. And we have one of our hubs even in South Africa. The person is I think he's in Durban, one of the sub-grantees that applied for one of them to be one of our sub-grantee. And he's trying to work on, building something on language, because our research area had to do with how do we extend AI in education to Sub-Saharan Africa in different, both Anglophone and Francophone countries. And however, he is doing something in trying to see how he can get some data from voice on how they teach and convert that to the language. He's doing something on language, actually. Yeah. Though he has not yet finished because it's an ongoing project. And in fact, presently I'm in a retreat for that right now. So that's why I'm so particular about it. And I can see that Grit is your lab, right? GRIT.
Yes. Grit Lab, yes.
What's the full meaning of Grit?
It's an English word, actually. It's not it's not an acronym, yeah.
Okay.
An English word,
so we would like to attend the questions. I have my co-facilitator here.
So just to reflect on that comment you made, so that person is trying to build a language model based on a corpus of a local language, and you would need to collect the data set and all of that, transcribe them into digital formats, and then put a machine learning model on it to learn it. The challenges in that space has always been the rigor in the process. It's a data collection exercise. The algorithms that will do the job are already there. So I hope your funding is enough for you to get to reach out to many people, to employ people that are serious about the business, to collect some very useful data sets for you.
Yeah, so that's one. We have about 7 sub-grantees. Yes, I think they wrote something that the fund can be able to solve, right? You have to work within the space of the budget. Yeah, so my question will be, first, there's something you mentioned about grading. Because when we are trying to solve this about AI in education, we want to find out how can we grade? Because that's one of the major things that make people run away from academics. And for we are lecturers, when it comes to grading, is a lot. So you said something about grading, which I took note of. That's what AI in education can solve as well. How far have we gone? Let's say, for instance, because I can see you're doing, there's something big already in South Africa that had to do with innovation hubs. How far have your hub gone in solving this kind of problem that had to do with grading in education?
Yeah, grading. Great. So that aspect is called automated essay scoring in AI. It's a subset of natural language processing. It is application of natural language processing techniques like comprehension techniques to a solution of a student. So a student writes text or writes on paper, then a lecturer says, this is the answer. The whole idea of comparing those two texts is automated. So I think there are many systems in the past that have done that very well with high accuracy. We don't even, in that space, if you're getting in and you're really lazy, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just probably have to look for something in an MIT library or something that has been done. You test it very well. You see the kind of places where it makes mistakes. So those places you might get human experts to validate what the scoring of the student is. But then there's a lot of progress in that space in AI for over the years, because it's not computationally expensive. It's just technique. So because it's not like a large volume of text. So usually it's a short text response from a student, or maybe an essay. And then you provide, sometimes those algorithms also do better when you provide 2 or 3 model responses, model answers. Because the primitive algorithms just look at synonyms and they construct ontologies to try to see if the student is saying the same thing as the lecturer is saying. So, but what I would say is there are many tools in that space. If you get funding and you want to build your own tool, I think you should do that because your tool might not be as accurate as the ones that exist. So only do it for a local context. So let's say you want to grade Yoruba writing, for example. That would be interesting. That'd be an interesting project. But then if you still grading English writings, you might find out that the algorithms at MIT, that you can also get, even some of them are on open source on GitHub. They might do this better than the ones you're trying to recreate.
Thank you very much, Professor. Yes. And ma'am, you're welcome on board. Thank you for coming to my rescue too, Dr. Yinka Chika. Thank you for this time out, Prof. There will be having about 30 minutes Q&A session for all the speakers. And I know there are some questions on the meeting chat area. Okay, and some persons have dropped some comments, and I know some persons might want to have their virtual hands up to make a comment or two, or ask questions for further clarification, just like Dr. Chika is also on and about, the #1 moderator of this event. We have a 30 minutes time for that. So that we can follow what we have on the agenda. We have about 2 more presentations that will be made on this platform so that we can keep to time. So on this note, sir, I would want you to, there was a phrase, there was a time you mentioned that you're wrapping up. Is this a wrap up or do I
wrap up? Yes. Wrapping up, locking and loading, yes. Thank you very much. So I think I would just say thank you, Chair. I would stay in the background. I'll read through the chat window in case something that I can respond to is readily available. Then, thank you for the opportunity to speak here again. Thank you very much.
Yes, but you're still with us, so you're not leaving us. We have questions, loads.
Okay, I'll be in the background.
You're good. I hope, just like I found Professor Adebiji's insights very intriguing and thought-provoking. Now we are set to dive into the next compelling topic, okay? And it's my pleasure to welcome to the virtual stage Salisu Mama Abdullahi, the Associate Prof of Artificial Intelligence from the Faculty of Computing and Mathematical Sciences, KUST Udil, Kaduna, Kano State. Professor Abdulrahman is here to share his expertise on developing skills and capabilities in artificial intelligence for rapid national growth. Let's get ready for a journey into this crucial role of skills development and shaping of the future of our nation. But before we go into that, we had lots and lots of goodwill messages from our This time, we're proud of you that you are here. We had, before the first speaker came on stage, we had the representative of the National Board for Technical Education send in his goodwill message from the executive secretary. And would like to also find out if we have others on the stage or that would want to hop onto the stage to send in their very short goodwill messages from the CPM, the NIDA, the NUC, the UBEC, the NCCE, TRC, and TEDA. We would love to. And now, to guide us through this further into this enlightening session, I'm turning the virtual mic back to the first moderator, Dr. Chika Yinka Banjo. Dr. Chika Yinka Banjo, please, would you take it from here, man? So that I virtually step aside for you to take over, man. Are you online, man? Dr. Chika, are you here?
Yes, so yes, I'm here. To take over is the goodwill message. So
I am turning the virtual mic to you now, man, to take it from there. So you have the agenda, man. Yes. All right. We have let me assist to usher in the second speaker. Professor Abdullahan is here to share his expertise on developing skills and capabilities in artificial intelligence for rapid national growth. I think he's already sharing his screen. Thank you for having me at this time. I'm still with you, Dr. Mrs. Ijoma Maggie. I virtually step aside. Thank you. You have the floor, Prof. Sir.
So thank you very much, Dr. Mrs. Ijoma. And thank you all, everyone, for joining. My name is Salisu Mohamed Abraham. I'm with the Department of Computer Science, Kano University of Science and Technology, Wudil, now ADOSTEC. I'll be presenting on this developing skills and capabilities in artificial intelligence for rapid national growth. To start by, I have the contents, what I'm going to present. I have about 5 items there. The AI concept and overview, we'll see some concept about AI, even though the professor have just done that. Then we'll discuss about AI and national economic growth and development. Then we'll review some status of AI in Nigeria and the various federal government interventions. And then we will discuss AI skills that are needed or in demand. And then we'll discuss measures to develop human resources with AI skill in Nigeria. So first, as defined by Professor, AI is the machine's ability to understand or perform in a way that will what? Normally need human intelligence. In other words, the study of and design of what intelligent agents, and these agents perceive its environment and take action that maximize chances of what? Success. So the investment now, there are a lot of investment being made on AI. About 200 billion are going to be put by 2025. That's a report by KPMG in July 2018. So AI now is an ecosystem that unlocks value by enhancing, accelerating, and automating what decisions that drive growth and what? Profitability. So we are surrounded by many things now, from movies, games, autonomous vehicles, so many things now. So most of the platforms integrated AI now. We have Facebook, Twitter, so many applications now and platforms. So in AI, we have about 6 areas. So we want to develop machines with human minds. So to do that, we need the machine to be able to see. And there's an area in AI we call computer visions, and then the machine should be able to listen. We have an area called speech recognition, and then the ability to learn, just like human being. And this is followed in the machine learning area. Then we have the ability of the machine to think, what we call automated reasoning, and then the understanding of natural language, that's language processing. And then nowadays we have a lot of robotics development. So the machine should be able to move just like human being, and that's the reason why there are a lot of research going on the area of robotics. So there are so many views now about AI. Some have the strong view that they want to build machine whose overall intellectual ability is what? Not different from what? From that of human being. And there are some views that the weak AI view aims to engineer a commercially viable smart system, the one we see in our smartphones, in our handheld systems, and other home appliances. So in order to drive economic growth, AI can drive economic growth by stimulating gains both from supply side and the demand side. So this AI can drive business productivity through what improvement in the existing labor force by equipping them with what AI technologies. And then automation processes. We use robots now and autonomous vehicle. A lot of this need to be done in Nigeria to achieve this domestically. We have a long way to go in Nigeria on this issue of automation processes and development of robots. AI could contribute up to what, 15.7 trillion to the global economy by year 2020. That's according to Rao and in 2017. So we need to understand what are the status of AI now in Nigeria. Although AI status in Nigeria is at its states, there are a lot of effort by federal governments and startups. So as the Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy together with NIDA has been making...
Excuse me, Dr. Salisi. Your slides are not moving. Can you please help us make it move so that we can see your screen? Yeah. It's not moving on this.
Can you see it?
We're still on the first page, the title.
The title?
Yes. So we have not seen the next page. Can you make it full screen? Then you can move the slides.
Okay, I'm moving the slides. You're not seeing it?
No, it's not moving.
Okay, let me try to...
Yeah, so you can reload it.
Okay,
reload it. Yes. Can you slideshow as well?
Okay. Can you see it now?
Okay, try to move the slide. Let's see. Resume slideshow. Yes.
Can you see now?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you very much. Sorry for this. So as I said, we have about 5 items we are going to discuss. Some concept about AI, AI in national economic growth and development, the status AI in Nigeria now, and the various federal government intervention, AI skills in demands, and then measures to develop human resources with AI skill in Nigeria. So we define AI as the machine ability to understand or perform in a way that requires human intelligence, or the study of design of intelligent system, and these agents, intelligent agents, and these agents are capable of perceiving its environment and taking action that maximize its chances of a success. So there are a lot of investment now going on in the world. A report by KPMG estimated that we are going to put about $200 billion by 2025. And that's the reason why AI now is viewed as an ecosystem that unlocks values by enhancing, accelerating, and automating decisions that drive growth and profitability. So we are surrounded by most AI products now, through movies, games, autonomous vehicles, most of the platforms you use now, Facebook, Twitter, and so many other platforms now have integrated AI into their platforms. So there are so many areas now that we pursue research in AI. To have machine that can be able to behave like human being, you need to develop a machine that can be able to see, understand, listen, learn just like human being, ability to think, understand natural language, and then ability to move. So various areas of computer vision, speech recognition, machine learning, automated reasoning, natural language processing, robotics have been pursued. And there are about 2 views about AI. We have this strong view that aims to build machines whose overall intellectual ability is not different from that of human being. And then there is a weak AI view that aims to engineer commercially viable and smart systems. That's what we see in most of the handheld systems and other appliances, smart home appliances. So how can AI drive economic growth by stimulating gains from both the supply side and the demand side? if we can improve on the existing labor force by equipping them with AI technologies, if we can do automation process, we can automate our processes with the use of robots and autonomous vehicle. And in this regard, we have a lot of things to do in Nigeria to achieve this domestically. AI can contribute up to 15.7 trillion to the global economy by year 2030, according to Rowe and Beveridge in 2017. And so to understand where we are, we need to understand where AI is in Nigeria. The AI status in Nigeria is at infancy states, but there are a lot of effort being made by governments, both federal government and some startup companies. The Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, together with NIDA and INCARE, has been making effort to drive the AI research in Nigeria. So there are policy, NIDA's national policy for artificial intelligence is not yet released, but I think this, if released, it can go a long way on driving AI research in Nigeria. Federal government is putting 5 million each to 45 startup researchers focusing on AI recently. There is the TREMTT program by Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy. And then we have NIDA's project of training 1 million developers across Nigeria on programming skills in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Specifically, they are going to do training on Python for machine learning and data sciences. So there are also a lot of startup companies that are very successful in Nigeria. AI startup company, number one is Omepe by Unicorn Group that boosts translation of local languages to bridge language barriers. And then there is Data Science Nigeria, DSN, that is a pioneering AI startup funded by Dr. Bayo Adekambi. And they enhance the capability of data science, AI, and machine learning across the country. And then we have AI Africa that aim to bring AI to the forefront of Africa's tech landscape. And then we have companies like Solinta Energy that start up pioneering AI technology integration into solar energy provision in Nigeria. A lot of these startups and many more needs funding, government funding and big business funding. So for us to get it right, we need to develop some skills. And the first one is the foundational technical skills. We need to have a proficiency in programming language like Python, and understanding of machine learning algorithm, and competency in deep learning and neural networks, comprehension of natural language processing. And then we need data science skills like understanding of what data analysis is, what knowledge of big data technologies is. And then we need to have knowledge about machine learning engineering skills. That's proficiency in building and deploying machine learning models, understanding frameworks, machine learning frameworks. There are a lot of machine learning frameworks now. And we need to have competency in supervised, unsupervised learning and reinforcement learning. We need knowledge of AI, computer vision, and robotics. And then we need to have AI application skills, like proficiency in chatbot and speech recognition. We need to understand generative AI and automation, and that's going to be the next topic of discussions. We need a knowledge of AI in decision-making and problem solving. And then there are some soft skills apart from these 4 skills in demands I have explained. We need proficiency in communication and critical thinking. We need the knowledge of leveraging networking and understanding of career planning in order to have skill sets. So the biggest challenge of AI in Nigeria is education. That's the biggest challenge. So what are the measures that we can follow to improve AI skills in Nigeria? So to foster AI innovation in the country, federal government, state, and businesses, big businesses, have to make a long-term investment in fundamental and responsible AI research. And in this regard, we need to put a lot of effort on research and development by investing heavily on AI research and development through improved funding for academic institutions, funding of AI startups that are available now in Nigeria. The second thing we need to do to make it right is the talent development. We need to develop skilled workforce for AI advancement in Nigeria. We need to have a national policy on AI and the mandate of the NCARE be available. And we need to develop strong AI infrastructure in our tertiary institutions so that we can build and maintain a robust AI infrastructure is crucial to facilitate AI development in Nigeria. We need to do collaborations, a lot of collaboration, AI research collaboration, and what knowledge sharing. Through this, we can promote collaboration between different stakeholders of AI, both startups and the academia. And this is essential for what rapid national growth. And we need to create and nurture this startup ecosystem. All these startups that are coming up in Nigeria, so many of them, we need to nurture them. We need to nurture a vibrant startup ecosystem that can foster innovation and what boost national economic growth. We need to also, one of the problems we are facing in Nigeria, we lack public shared data sets that are going to be used in AI research. So we need to develop shared public data sets and environment for AI training and testing. To do that, we can make accessible, so that we can make these data sets accessible for AI research and applications. So and at the same time, we can sustain access to training and testing data sets to ensure scientific and reliable, reproducible, ethical, and equitable results. In doing all these things, we have mentioned about 5 of them. We need to take into consideration the ethical issues in AI, because we need to prioritize ethical consideration in the development and deployment of AI technologies in Nigeria, because there are a lot of concern that whether the AI future is entirely human-centric, because there is a lot of says that a leading artificial researcher lists out a new approach to AI that enable us to coexist successfully with the increasing intelligent machines. And then we need to invest a lot on trustworthy and responsible AI research, because our society now is relying extensively on AI. We need to understand concepts about safety in AI, and that are important to consider in development and deployment of AI system. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sanusi, for that rich presentation. And we are really happy that you brought out the research aspect of AI. Now, if I know that the number of people here would like to know which areas they want to do research on, this is a very good presentation to help to know what to do in AI and the area they can do some of the work that is pending in our country. Thank you so much. So we'll move forward we'll gather the questions, and like the previous speaker just did, you can also help us to go online on the chat room and see what's going on. We just want you to just still be in the background while we finish the talk before we gather all the questions together. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanusi. That was very rich.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So we'll go straight to the next speaker. Let me just call him up. Hold on. So our next speaker is coming from, is the CEO of Google Robotics. Like we have heard from Dr. Sanusi, robotics is one part of the research that we can do in AI. Now, so we have Amy Pencil, CEO of Google Robotics. I'll just read the citation before he comes on. So Amy Pencil is a robotics engineer and entrepreneur who is the CEO of Google Robotics, a company that is dedicated to using AI and futuristic technology to solve some of the most pressing problems on Earth. With a passion for robotics and a desire to make a difference in the world, Amy Pencil has worked tirelessly to establish Google Robotics as a leader in the field of robotics and AI. Experienced robotics engineer with a demonstrated history of working in the industrial automation industry, skilled in search, sorry for that breaking transmission. I was told that Amy Robotics is not available now. So that will save us a lot of time because we are actually behind schedule. So we'll go straight into it. We'll go straight into questions and answer session. We're supposed to be about 30 minutes, but however, we might shorten it so that we can meet the time that we have. So we'll start with say that if you know you have a question, I know that the speakers, the first speaker and the second speaker are already on the chat room answering some questions. If your questions are not on the chat room, if you have any question, please, can you help by showing your hand so that we can go straight into it? You can use the icon for raising of hand. It's under reactions on your Zoom link. You say reactions, then you'll see your hand gesture. Okay. Okay, I've seen one. So we'll start with Abdul Malik. Go ahead, unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you. Okay, go ahead, Abdul Malik.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma, for giving me this opportunity. Mine is a little question that is common to most of us. I don't know if there is opportunities for selecting viable researches on AI in Nigeria. What is the likely procedure of that?
Hello, you're muted, Abdul Malik. You're muted. Please, can you unmute yourself? Okay. Apparently, here is having a network issues, so we can go straight to the second person with their hands raised up. Can we, so Chinyere, please, can you ask your question? Unmute yourself and ask your question. Chinyere, can you hear me? Okay, Chinyere is also not speaking. So can we go ahead to the next hand raised? Can we hear you, Bafa Sani? Please go ahead with your question. Unmute yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Hope you are hearing me.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yeah, I need assistance from both two presenters. Because I found myself to be educationist because I did my first degree in education sector, and I was opportune to have my secondary degree in MSc computer science. So I would like to go on to educational aspect to do some researches concerning AI. So I need their assistance for advice on how to go on.
Okay, thank you. So do you want to take that, Professor?
Yes,
Abejide?
yes,
Okay.
I can respond to that. That touches on career direction as well. It's one of my interesting topics. So, Sunny, thank you for that question. I think I'll first like to ask what your technical, do you have technical skill? While you moved to computer science, your passion can still be in education. In fact, there's a domain called computer science education. It's quite an interesting idea, which contains a lot of frameworks and theories about how to best teach computer science subjects. You might find things like program comprehension falling in that space. That is how to teach young people to understand computer programming, how to teach construct and complex concepts like recursion. So education experts have studied computer programming for a long time. So I think in between, you would always find things to study there. You could even look at, the question would be if you have technical skills. So if you want to avoid programming, then you could look at a PhD in computer science education under a faculty of education, or the same qualification under a faculty of science, where if you have technical skills, you can build something like a tool or a new algorithm that aids in comprehending one of the difficult topics in computer science. So usually to be programming or formal language theory. So if you're in that space, if you have some tools that can teach sophisticated topics like that, and you can prove that those tools were deployed in a school setting or university setting, you get about 250 students to play with them. You gather the data from their play and how much those things were able to help. you can write a solid PhD. I'm assuming that you're going towards PhD now, a PhD thesis on computer science education, looking at a tool towards a particular problem like that. So that's what I would say. I think you're lucky. You don't have to pick one. You don't have to say computer science or education. You can have it both. And you can have it in 2 faculties, any one of your choice. Sunny, did I answer your question?
But first, Sunny, did I answer your question? You're muted if you're speaking.
It's muted, yeah.
Okay, so I believe you should, of course. So I think we can go straight to the next person, Saidu Rabiu. Can go ahead. Quickly, 1 minute, so that we can go around. We can't hear you. I think your speaking side.
Yeah, please unmute yourself. I think it's the mobile version of WhatsApp. It's difficult to find the unmute version of Zoom. It's quite tricky to find the mute button. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can unmute him. That's Saidu. Yes. Okay, I'm asking you to unmute now. Yes.
Good morning.
Okay, that works.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sir, my questions goes to Professor, sir. Sir, I would like to ask you a question about this AI. I'm not a student of computer science, so my question go directly to, like, if I now start studying AI, like machine learning, so my question go to like modeling and simulation. Like now, if I want to train a model and test it, so what are the steps and the procedures that I can go deep into artificial intelligence? That's the question.
Okay.
Sir.
Yeah, I think thank you for that question, Rabiu. I think my first response would be, if you're not in computer science, then where are you? So because this is more of a direction topic. Rabiu, I'll tell you the fact. The fact is that if you spend time learning something you'll never be an expert of, you might not get what you want out of the system at the end of the day. First, you might be unemployable as a machine learning engineer, all right? Then secondly, you might not have the confidence yourself because you didn't know which differential equations were under the models that you're touching. You could add something together, but then you might struggle with the fundamentals, the basics, and that could affect you in the long run. So again, it strikes me like a career question, you know? So if I know the field you're coming from, and I know you want to move towards AI, I might be able to advise on a solid space to be so that you're the strongest in your field that understands AI, as opposed to advising you to overhaul everything you've done and then try to do something, and you're not going to start from 100 level. So you might not understand linear algebras and all those things. And then you might just be a craftsman or a YouTuber of AI. That one as well, there's a lot of people out there right now that feel like, but I made it work on a computer, but they cannot explain what they made work, you know? So which field are you from?
I'm from computer science, sir.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So your background is computer science.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, AI is a subtopic in computer science. You're at home. With AI, you're right at home. So to your question, what steps do you need to train a model? That's something you can ask ChatGPT right now. So after this call, go to ChatGPT and tell it to create a learning plan for you that spans 4 weeks to teach you how to do supervised learning, or just say machine learning. That's going to break it down for you. So that's piece of cake. It's going to even give you links to videos that are sequential. Also, you can go on a platform like Coursera and pick up a free online course and learn it. Yeah. So, and then you can, I think you can self-teach, you know, you can teach yourself.
Okay, sir.
All right. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Abejide, for that answer, really. Self-teaching is a key. Self-motivated students, they do a lot. Yeah, so thank you so much. While you were answering the question, the last speaker came in. Oh, in fact, he has always been here, but I think it was a problem of unmuting, just like you mentioned. So now he's able to come on, and we just want to invite him to take the stage now. Amy Pencil, the CEO of Google Robotics. Please, we want you to take the stage and share your screen. You're welcome, sir. We have actually read your profile, and we can say that we are expectant. You're welcome, sir. CEO of
Thank you very
Google
much.
Robotics. Yeah, so you can share
Thank you
your
very
screen.
much. Greetings, family. I'm Amy Pencil, CEO of Google Robotics.
Can we
It's an
see
honor
your
to be.
screen? Are you sharing
Okay,
your
sure.
screen, sir?
Share my screen. I'm trying to share my.
Okay.
It's having a network glitch.
Are you having any technical difficulty, sir? Hello, sir.
I'm still for I can screen and start.
Hello.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Let me show you again.
Can any other person see the screen? Because I've not yet seen it. So that will be
Yeah.
sure that. Okay. It's coming up now.
Okay, so today I'll be walking you through the use of new technology like AI to level up your career. If you consider this, consider taking. Let's get together. So I'll be working on a no-code platform. It's called Poe, as there are lots of people who are in different fields and work background and need to create an AI chatbot that will solve problems in their businesses. So if you're using a system or a mobile device, you just go to your Chrome browser. Firstly, is to create a bot to work, and second, using the Poe is a game changer for AI adoption. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So when you open your Poe, you open Poe.com, you first log in. You can use your Gmail or your Apple ID to log in because this is my Poe screen. The cool thing about Poe is that it has access to GPT-4, Cloud AI, and a whole lot of AIs. So in this drop-down menu, you're going to see a lot of them, like all the bots there. Let me check my bots. There are lots of bots. It's ChatGPT, web search, Wealth was created by me this morning. Then GPT-4, DAL-E, there are a lot of them. So there's even Stable Diffusion. So right now I'll teach you how to create your own AI chatbots. If you are using a PC, you click on the left button, but if you're using a phone, you click this drop-down menu here. Then you click on Create Bots. So we are going, our bots have to have meaning. Like, for example, I want us to create a bot that's a virtual automotive advisor for car and maintenance repair. So this robot now is going to be teaching you or giving you tips on how to repair your car. You just have to ask a question, then it gives it gives you explanation of how you go through it. So the name of my bot now is called Garage Genius. And you just have to make it simple word that everyone can understand and actually stand out, because people want something they can remember. So we're going to be using ChatGPT. We're going to be using ChatGPT for this. Then there's a prompt. So the prompt is more like what the robot's supposed to do. I already have something I designed it for this. So welcome to your virtual automotive advisor bot. Garage Genius, okay? Let me edit it. I'm here to help you with all your car maintenance and repair needs. Ask me anything about maintenance. So this is more like a prompt. This prompt is going to guide it on what to do with users that are coming to use your bot for anything you're doing. So now I'm going to add a knowledge, because it needs to have a knowledge of what it is going to be giving out to people that are coming to use your chatbot. So they say ask for file or text. If I had a file, I would going to use, but I want to use the text instead. So in the title, you call it Garage Genius. Then the content is the prompt you already had that is going to guide it on what it's going to be doing. So welcome to Virtual Automotive Bot Garage Genius. I'm here to help you with all your car maintenance. Ask me anything, okay? And we're done with that. It's very, very simple building a bot like this. It's processing, okay? Let's say, hello, I am Garage Genius. How can I help you today? Okay, then we add an advanced. Okay, we can suggest reply, so it can actually calculate. No, we don't need that one. It's not important. Then a bio. So when you're creating a bot, you still need ChatGPT to work with, and I have a software I'm using for ChatGPT. So yeah, ChatGPT software and create a bio for Garage Genius. So now I have to wait after I'm creating the bio. Okay, very simple. So this is what you will see when they come. It's not going to be confusing for them. Yeah. Using your pull. Okay, important. And create my bio. Okay. And it's a very quick one. I can make my bot publicly accessible. So whoever in the world needs to use this bot to help their car needs or their garage needs, they're just going to come use my robot. And lastly, I didn't add the picture because it has to have a picture. It's like someone that it has a personality, because without robots, they will forget about it. So it needs to have a picture and also have a name. I'll give it Garage News. So I'm gonna use the brain from Neuralink. I'll use this one. Okay, that's good. So my robot is created. Create a bot. Okay, new bot created. Garage Genius. Hello, I'm Garage Genius. How can I help you today? Let's ask it a question. My car is overheating. My car is overheating. What can I do to stop it? Because this is working with ChatGPT, is working with an API, so it's just going to give it clean prompts of what you're supposed to do. Okay, this is just what he told me. Oh no, it sounds like your car is overheating. Don't worry, I'm here to help you out. Overheating can be caused by a few different things, but let's start with some basic troubleshooting steps. So let's say this is very quick stuff I just did here, doing this AI chatbot. Apart from this, we actually in my company, Google Robotics, we using ChatGPT and other things to work on robots. So they will have to converse with human beings. Like you have a partner, you have a companion, you don't have to stay bored using the robots we built. So yeah, this is just very easy and everyone can adopt it and actually use it for whatever they want. So if anyone have questions and need guides or need some bots that can help them, I'm ready to provide for them. Thank you for having me in Nigerian Computer Society.
I like the name, Pencil. Is that your surname, sir?
Pencil?
Hello?
Is Pencil? You're asking about?
Yeah, so I see Amy Pencil. I said, is that your surname?
Not really a surname. I actually have the name because I do a lot of technology and stuff.
Yeah, I suspected. Thank you so much for the practical application of generative adversarial generative AI. So right now we want to go straight to the questions, and I think Professor Adenije has gone off, and he said if anybody has question that we can contact him on LinkedIn, and he has dropped his LinkedIn address on the chat room. So now we want to go straight to questions, and the questions are straight. I can see a lot of hands up, and I must thank you so much for the practical application of this. And let's start from Oga Omoyemi. Can you unmute yourself, or should I help you? Okay, let me ask you to unmute. Oga Omoyemi, you can go ahead.
Good afternoon, ma. Thank you for this opportunity granted. Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so Professor, I will be coming from the academics part, that's the education part. It is now obvious that most students now fully depend on AI. Within me, I do feel like, won't this make students to be more lazy and unproductive in thinking? Because there was a time I gave an assignment here in the university. What AI provided for them, ChatGPT provided for them, these students did not even edit anything. They just pour it like that. My concern is, won't this also bring another negative aspect of making students to be more lazy? Any comment on that, sir?
I presume you're asking Amy Pencil. Is that the person
Yes,
asking?
no,
Okay.
I'm asking professor.
Yeah, the professor
don't-
has logged off. Yes, he said any question will be directed to him on LinkedIn because he has another meeting. So, but anybody can answer. Any person can answer because it has to do with.
You can also provide an answer towards that regard, ma.
Yes, I can answer as well, but let's give the
Hello, sir.
speakers
All right.
the first chance to speak first.
Okay, I actually made a video about ChatGPT and the adoption of it by our kids, students, people that are coming up. So what I said was that if we allow this thing to take over us, we are going to lose a lot in the next couple of years because we are creating AI that is smarter than us. You understand? So the thing is, they don't just adopt this thing, they don't just accept it. You have to know more. You understand? You have to know more than this thing. Because let's say in programming now, these robots, they can actually do wrong things, they can do right things. They were trained by us. You understand? They were trained by us, but people don't understand, like, I just want to do this thing quickly, let my lecturer get it done. Like, let me submit. No, even if the AI is just there to help you, just to make it swift, but you don't just have to use it in a general form. Okay, I just want to get this done. Like a couple of people applying for jobs lately, they are using ChatGPT. It's so funny. I don't know if you're using ChatGPT to do whatever you're doing because you might not be professional working on it. So what I'm saying is that people should not accept the fact of using AI generally fully, you understand, so that it will not just take over their brain. Because in the next few years, they will be this AI is going to outsmart them because we are the ones creating it. That's the thing.
Oh, that's good. Thank you for providing an insight.
Yeah, but I can add something to that. Even if you want to, yeah. So for you to say that they are making people lazy, I don't see that, because if you're lazy, the answer you're going to get from these AI platforms is going to show that you don't even know what you're doing. If you send something to ChatGPT, for instance, it's going to give it to you, and you copy it like that, it might not make any meaning to the answer that is required. You must learn what is called prompt engineering. And for you to do prompt engineering, you already know what you're looking for, and you already know how to tweak it. It's there to support you, just like the first person said. So if you don't give it a very good prompt, you're going to get anyhow answer. And for you to give very good prompts, that means you already know what actually you're doing. That means you are smarter, because for you to give you that prompt, it's the only one that the only way can give you something related to what you're looking for. And you use what you're looking for, use what the platform is giving you to make it to what you're looking for, because it can't give you exactly accurately the way you want it. Take, for instance, they're all pre-trained, and there's some questions you even asked ChatGPT. You tell me since 2022, I've not 2022, I've not been able to get anything more than this. That is where the training stopped. So if you're copying and pasting and you're being lazy, your answer is going to show that you don't even know what you're doing. So it's just there to support and help, like the first person said. Thank you very much. I don't know if that answers your question.
It answers, but not fully to me, because we are, our students are also smart. Some you give them, work on respiration in avian. They will type like that. It will give them everything. But I expected them, like, ChatGPT is just a guide to guide them, to provide them prompt information. I expected our students to sit down when the information comes, and they will look into it and put it in their own little way, their own little words. For today, it is how it gives, they put it back to you. And at times I will just know this is where you get it. So I think as the first answer, the first person the answer said, we need to train our students to be more critical thinkers, to be ahead. So I love AI is making things to be easier, but also I think that aspect of making the students to be a bit more relaxed, to be worked upon. That's just my view. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You have said it all. You already have the answer as well. Okay, so I think you can lower your hands now so that we'll go straight to Abdulraham Idris. I will help you to unmute. So you can go ahead now, Abdulraham. Okay, if you're not there, Idris Baba Abdullahi, let me help you to unmute. Go ahead. Yes.
Hello. Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming.
My name is Idris Abdullahi. I'm calling you from Alinko Dangote University, Kano State. I appreciate the presentation by the Prof and Dr. Salisu Mamman. It's been a wonderful presentation. I have a question, an area of interest and clarification as well regarding to the presentation made in AI. I'm into computer science as well as computer education as well. So I had this interest on learning, the memory specifically. And when I say memory, I am referring to human memory. So I have a study that has to do with the human memory, its impact on learning and learners' achievement in education, because the whole talk center more on education. So my question here is, how can AI come in helping me meet up this research target of enhancing the memory and knowing how it impacts the human behavior and its impact on the education as a whole? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. So who do you address your question to?
I do that to the first presenter, the Prof. Is unavailable.
The Prof is not here. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So I leave it open to the floor. Thank you so much.
Okay, so any of the presenters can answer the question. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor. I think AI application in education, nowadays AI is being used in education to personalize learning, like automate administrative tasks and improve student outcomes. So AI power system now, they can analyze student data to identify areas where they can need some help and provide personalized recommendations. So specifically, I don't know which area Idris is talking about that she has interest in.
Sorry, can I come in?
Go ahead.
Yeah, where I'm concerned with my research interest is the human memory, its impact on learning and learners' achievement. Because everything that has to do with learning is centered on the memory itself. So how do students get to understand their memory, its function and stuff, so that they'll be able to adopt the best learning domain that best fits for them? So how do now AI come in achieving these targets? That is my question.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, AI power systems now can analyze student personal data and identify areas where the student need helps. And then they can provide recommendation systems based on the areas identified.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other person? So for Idris, I believe that there is cognitive science that had to do with human brain. So there is an area in artificial intelligence that had to do with cognitive science. I don't know if you're looking at area where you want to understand the human brain. That will actually explain that well. Then they collect data and use data to train that. So when you train that, you can even use different machine learning techniques like deep learning to train and understand how human brain works. So if you're saying you want students to understand how human brain works, there are different things, there are different areas they can go. You know that neural networks were built on human brain, right? So there are different ways that you can learn. Using machine learning, you can understand how human brain works. Collecting data and going to cognitive science, you can understand how human brain works. There are different areas of artificial intelligence that have to do with human brain. That means you're going to do a special kind of thing. So I don't know if that's what your question is about, because it's a little bit fuzzy for me when you say students understand human brain. I don't know if any other person, is there any other person that have an answer? Hello, Idris.
Yes, I'm with you.
So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it's fine. It answers. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay. I want to ask a question, please.
Okay,
the past comments we had by Mr. Idris, and I think the other comment or the question we got before this one, asking about the implication of all these assistances in AI in education and ChatGPT. And I want to ask a question. Before now, I know that I know that Google search, all these search engines, are they not an aspect of generative information system, or kind of a low-level chat GPT? And also, if we're trying to find out or put much support or much points for or against the advantages or disadvantages of this technology that we have found in the teaching sector, educational sector, I ask again, we have vehicles. You can decide to trek from here to Lagos, from east to west, or from north to south, and decide to use a vehicle and drive, or decide to use an aeroplane to fly down. For the transport, for mobility, and for the transportation industry, because of the speed with which it solves the problem of mobility, people decide to use the aeroplane to fly. People can decide to walk down. It has its disadvantages and advantages. I'm one of the moderators, but I want to think. I want to allow. I don't want us to really see things from very big languages. Are we saying that the ChatGPT is not good for the system? It's not good for our students. It's not good for the lecturer. It's not good for educational development and the rest. Is that what we're trying to say? Or are we saying that it's a bad omen that came? Or are we saying it's a good one? Because this question has been going on, and most times we don't do justice to it. Realistically, for me, it's a good thing that came in. It is a good thing. The benefits are plenty. Yes, the disadvantages are also there. We have plenty benefits. Of course, we talk about 24/7 availability of information. We talk about personalized assistances. We talk about diverse learning, language and learning support, many things. In curiosity, I can wake up in the night and I'm curious about something, I just dive in and I'm learning. Like Madam Chika said, it gives you an opportunity to learn according to your pace, and also there are so many assistances this has brought in. But the problem now with the lecturers, are they ready to? Because these youths, they speed, they are on the very fast lane. The lecturers, are they prepared to meet up with this new normal? It's a new normal. The lecturers, are they ready to move on with this? Because whether you're teaching in the computer science department, or you're teaching in linguistics department, or Yoruba linguistics department, or Hausa, you must know some of these AI tools, because these children are using it and they will wait for you. You come for lectures to teach them. They've already passed, because you give them at the beginning of each semester, you drop the course outline or the curriculum for the semester. They've already prepared their lecture notes and they're waiting. So the lecturers should be ahead of them by skilling and reskilling, learning and relearning, and getting prepared. That's why AI, it has come to stay. We can't push it away. It is even getting very overwhelming, the way these things are there, solving problems for us, researchers, and so on and so forth. The disadvantages, yes, I can't be talking about disadvantages, and the disadvantages are plenty. Okay? It could cause lack of critical thinking. But Madam Chika has mentioned something that you can't be a good, you can't be talking about being a good critical thinker. If you're not a good critical thinker, you cannot harness the great benefits found in the ChatGPT technology. You cannot harness it. You must be a very good prompt engineer. You prompt it, in fact, you speak to it, you discuss with ChatGPT, and it will give you overwhelming results. And you're learning with it. It's teaching you, you're also teaching it. So my own is lecturers should be ready. It has come to stay, it's not going back. We can't be saying it is going to kill our children. It will give them poor critical thinking. It will cause them not to study to read. It will do this. It is not going to work. Our own is we need to be ready. If not, it will take away our jobs. The lecturers, it will take away our jobs over time. It's going to also help lecturers in a way. Our lecture notes, you can have these things, this particular technology, help you prepare these things. So on and so forth. We have limited time.
Okay.
If you decide to use leg and track to Lagos or decide to use aeroplane and drive to Lagos, it is that person's business. If we decide to push away AI and say it's going to kill our students or make them be useless academically, the cab will just leave that lecturer behind.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. IJ. And that was a fantastic admonition there, because she's trying to tell us that we are not here to destroy what has been built. Rather, we are going to harness it. I like the last speaker showing us how to build it, even to use it for robots. He showed us how to build chatbots. Everywhere now is chatbots. You build chatbots to solve problems. If you're seeing a lot of grants happening now, if you don't know how to use API to employ yours to the existing ones, you might not really get that grant. So a lot of things are happening and we have to embrace it. Just learn how to use it and make use of it. There is nothing on earth that doesn't have a disadvantage. Even to be alive, you will see that some people say it's better they die than be alive. But why? So everything in life has disadvantage, but the advantages are more. It weighs more than the disadvantages. So I think we can go ahead. So from what you said, you didn't ask a question per se. You're just telling us that we are here to take what has been given, what is already here for AI. There are different ways that we use AI in communication. We have seen ChatGPT just one out of a lot. If you even want to write an essay, there are some platforms that are supposed to help you. So for you to even do that, you have something in your brain to be able to communicate with the platform. So I thank you so much, my co-facilitator, for that. I want to see, do you have any more questions? I can see 4 more hands. Can you do it for 1 minute so that we'll move to the next item? So let's go to Joshua. Joshua, can you unmute yourself and speak? After Joshua, 1 minute, Ayodeji, I'm unmuting you as well. Then Abdul Malik, I'm unmuting you as well. So let's go straight to Joshua.
Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. My question is this. Actually, I'm a teacher in secondary school level, and I know that this AI is what is very important in this era that we are now, and it needs for us to teach the students. Okay, the setting that I am is in a boarding school, and they don't have enough access to gadgets, devices like phone to learn from there. And we have some system in school. is there any way that we can get tools? For instance, if you're talking about AI, we can't do without programming languages such as Python. And to now teach them that Python, we have tools that can be used to aid learning. Because I've discovered that when it comes to programming aspect, they don't really, they're always running away from it. They feel like it is too difficult writing line of codes and all that. So do we have tools that someone can use to motivate them so that we have more interest in it? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Who do you address your question to?
Anyone, just straight to the floor, sir.
Okay. Okay, so while that is on, can we just get Abdul Malik to answer his question? So anybody that is prepared to answer the first question, please can get ready to answer that. While we get Abdul Malik to ask his question.
Well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I have listened to the presenters very well, and those that asked questions before me, particularly the one asking regarding his research interests, of things to do with way of thinking as well as AI. I think for researchers in computing, we need to understand that our field of research is holistic in nature. So whenever you are proposing solution to any field, you have to study that field. Proposing solution that deals with human thinking and human behavior is more of psychology. So as a computer scientist, you need to understand some basics of that before you can propose a research deliverable out of that. And for some of us that are afraid of AI, generative AI particularly, I would advise we should just embrace it. We should go ahead, as mentioned by previous speakers, and we should devise means. There are a lot of researches on how to integrate generative AI into our classes. Particularly this year, I published one paper on how to utilize different mechanisms, particularly modified pre-planning and one form of it, to encourage students on responsible use of generative artificial intelligence during class. I think I will post a link to that publication, and we are also working on another approach based on computational thinking skills that could help us as teachers to be in line with what our students are embracing, at least to help them in learning better than what we could have achieved if we neglect these revolutions. So this is my little contribution, and I believe even secondary school teachers could make use of these tools, at least to let the student appreciate the technologies before they reach to the level that they will learn them very well. I know for secondarians, learning programming language is not part of their curriculum, but if they appreciate it the moment they reach universities, they will just start utilizing such tools. Thank you for this opportunity to share ideas, to rub minds with the academics of Nigeria. Thank you very much, NCS. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul Malik, and that was very useful. And I think we should answer the first question and we'll go ahead to wrap up. So I think any more questions?
I can come in on IIDG.
Okay, you want to answer the question?
The question actually, I want to ask him, is it secondary school or tertiary institution you're teaching?
He said secondary school. He said secondary school, sir.
Yeah, secondary school, right?
Yes, sir.
So there are a lot of AI tools, interactive ones. I don't know whether you have some infrastructure there in the secondary school, because most of the tools needs these interactive systems. Is IIDG, are you with me, Mahmoud?
I wasn't the one that asked the question. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I want to ask my own question, not.
We actually barely have time. We have overshot our time right now.
Okay, I was thinking he's the one who asked the question on the secondary school issues.
Yeah, but you can answer the question, sir, because the person
Yeah,
is in
we need
the
to ask
background.
question whether they have some infrastructure there, because in my presentation, I mentioned that we need to have infrastructure, because most of the AI tools, they're interactive in nature. And most of these are personalized. They can provide young people with their own virtual tutor, for example.
I believe he's listening anyways, so you answer that. Maybe he can go to the chat room and answer that. So I think we will take only one more person. We are already out of time. Mr. Ayodeji, your question before we leave, before we hand over to the wrapping, because we are already behind schedule. Mr. Ayodeji, go ahead.
Yes, my question actually goes to Emmy Pencil. He did a very wonderful job. I'm actually interested in what he did, but I just wanted to know if his POE.com can also be localized to my firm or local firms, because of the processes in these local firms might differ from what he extracted from the ChatGPT. That's just my question.
Hello? Hello, can anybody hear me?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. Dr. Chika, are you online? Okay, Ayodele Mahmood, have you made your comments? We have seen your virtual hand up.
Yes, I've done that.
Right. Has it been taken care of, sir? Hello, all right.
Actually,
Dr.
yes,
Dr. Leg Boris. Can we're here. Can you unmute and make your question? All right. Mr. Okay. Akin Niran, are you there? We want to hear from you. You have your virtual hand up. All right. And okay, if that will be all, we can.
Hello.
Hello, Dr.
Yes.
Emmanuel is here.
Afternoon.
I've unmuted myself.
Good afternoon. Can I go ahead? Okay, all right. Please. My name is Akin, okay. This is a wonderful, gathering, wonderful contributions and all the people who have actually been talking. I'm really, really impressed that we are looking at this direction. I'm from OES, Education System, and my comment about the POE, well done. We can't take that away. If anybody is saying that there are limitations, there are problems with AI, we are just going to be left in the dark and at the back, So we have to catch up with it, and I'm glad that we are, looking at this. Secondly, I want to say that it's a must. I think for Nigerians, I think it's a must for every one of us to implement AI, to start implementing AI in education right now. And that can be done in the country. It can be done by people. I work with a team in Babcock University, and we're doing phenomenal. We're doing great things in there. And I want to tell you that it's very important that we need to start looking at generative AI, which is the likes of the GPT-4. But the solution to GPT-4 is GPT-0. It should be implemented in our LMS. Do we even have LMS? That's another question we need to look at. And another thing I would like to say that for the secondary school and the primary school, secondary school and the university people, I think one of the reasons why we are not having OER, a lot of OER in universities now, is because we're not creating content. The teachers meant to have, everybody should be able to create their content on their system, by their system, and for the student to consume, and for the community to consume. And we're not doing that. We're still focusing, we're still depending on the traditional way. AI can also come to play in that. And I just mentioned, creation of content, that AI will help in that area. And then after creation of the content, that is when we can start looking at the MR, VR, and AR. Because that will help us to consume the content that we've created. But we're not doing that. We need to start looking at that, and we need to start getting funds to do that. It's what POE guy did was very impressive. We need to start consuming all those AI models, and so that we can, turn this country, not somebody coming from outside to come and be telling us they can do it, we can do it in the country. And that's one of the things OES is doing. If you look very well, I've posted it on the charts, you can look at that. Thank you, that's just my contribution.
So much, Mr. Akin. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw these impactful and engaging insights from this session, and as we also draw to a close, I want to take a moment to express our deepest appreciation to everyone who made this third technology-enhanced learning through computing education forum truly remarkable. First and foremost, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed speakers. So far, so good. And commenters, your expertise, passion, and thought-provoking insights have really left a huge mark, on our understanding of AI in education. We are grateful for your valuable contributions. So far, do we still have some virtual hands up? Do we have some virtual hands up? Mr. Legboros, if you're done, you can let your hand down, please, so that we can know the number of persons that are still remaining. We have Aliyu Hassan from MBTE. You have the floor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Really, it's a fact that we can't run away from AI. It has come to stay. Now, in education, teachers need to begin to think how to best assess students in terms of what they've taught them. Because you can't really be able to assess, especially when it comes to theoretical contents, due to the advent of AI, whether it is an original concept from the student or otherwise. So we should begin to think about evidence-based. That is to say, when a student is going to submit a result of an assignment, or you give him a task, the task should be, you should have at least minimum of 2, 3, 4 evidences. So the fact that I have answered a question theoretically shouldn't be enough evidence. You should be able to, critically examine in terms of have an interactive session, activity-based, etc., so that we'll be able to examine to be sure that whatever the student is presenting, it's actually his original work. It's not something that he just sit down without thinking and use the AI to generate results. So I think these teachers will need to have a rethink on how best to assess their students. That's the only way we'll be able to get students to get meaningful input and be sure of whatever output they are getting is skill-based, or they understand what they have been taught. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. Co-moderator, are you there?
Yeah, so I just wanted
No.
to say, sorry, my system logged out, so I tried to log in with my phone, and I was trying to get in, and it was not. But take over from there so that I don't disrupt anything. Because I'm using my phone now. Thank you so much.
All right, ma'am. The presentation, you know, at the time I stepped out, we've had the 3 presentations, ma'am.
Yes, we are done with everything. So it's just to wrap up now. The last agenda, the last item on the agenda.
All right. Okay, still on appreciation, a special thanks to the co-moderators, Dr. Chika Yinka Banjo and myself, Dr. Ijoma Emage, for skillfully guiding us through the sessions and ensuring a smooth and dynamic flow of this discussion. Your dedication and expertise has been very instrumental, ma, to making this forum a huge success. But not least, I want to also sincerely appreciate each and every one of you, our attendees. Your presence, your engagement has actually created a very collaborative learning environment. Thank you for being there for us. Thank you for answering our call. And thank you for joining us on this platform. As we conclude, remember that the discussions we have had today are just the beginning. They are just the beginning, thought-provoking beginning. Let's carry the knowledge. I will carry the knowledge I got. I will carry the insights I gained from here into our educational spaces. For those in the university, in the polytechnic sector or colleges of education, secondary, primary school. All right, we will continue from there, carrying this knowledge and the insights we gained into these spaces, and continue to explore other potentials of technology and learning. One of the truths, we need to really embrace it really quickly. The WAEC, the JAMB has already started, the CBT, WAEC has started, and we know that some public schools, with due respect, and some private schools, secondary schools, some of our young learners there missed it from JSS1. And now it's going to really dawn on them by SS3 if the CBT strikes, the usage of technology to do things, the usage of technology that we are thinking of trying to commence with or we are almost on it already. Some secondary schools that are in the institute, in their schools, using technology to measure student performance and also teach these students and it with the normal standard. But some schools that ignore this, the die is cast. There's some schools that ignore this, some lecturers, some teachers, secondary school, primary school teachers that ignore this, the die is cast. They choose the end products or the people that will be at the receiving ends will be these our children. I keep wondering what some of these young ones will be doing by the time, just like JAMB has already picked up with the CBT mode of giving them exams. What happens at the WAEC level? What happens to the special centers everywhere? What will happen to these young ones? We need to start hitting the nail on the head and push these things further. And on this note, there's a lot to talk about. Like I said, this is just a stepping stone. We will not stop discussing. NCS has always been on this line of giving us, helping us to brainstorm about implications, strategies for national growth. Our closing will be handled by the national Dr. Charles Onyuku. I don't know if he is online. Dr. Charles Onyuku would want you to take up that assignment. Sir, He's a fellow of the Nigerian Computer Society. He's not online. Okay, the closing speech. I don't know if the president is still here with us.
Hello,
or the immediate
hello.
past
The moderator.
president. Yes.
The moderator.
Yes, sir.
I could see the immediate past president online. So I would like him to give his remark before while waiting for the Dr. Charles Yoku.
All right,
Professor
Sodia.
Sodia, can you just come up and say something? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much, the moderators, for the wonderful job you have been doing for the past 2 hours. It has been engaging. It has been so interesting. We started this online event about 3 years ago, and this is the 3rd edition. It is awesome to see close to 300 people participating and interested in the adoption of how we can use AI to enhance national growth. I want to thank all our presenters, our invited guest speaker from South Africa, from Nigeria. They have really done very good work. Of course, they have shown that they are indeed the best people have gotten to really discuss this issue. We thank all of them, and of course, I know that NCS will still be getting in touch with them officially. And our wonderful moderators. We have made this one to be very interesting to have 2 women, 2 able, powerful women as moderators. You know, they have done so well. They have done what they know how to do best, and they have not really surprised any one of us, because we are not expecting anything less from them. We appreciate the 2 of them, and I know the 2 of them are really interested in AI. They are also experts in AI in their various fields. So all our participants, we thank all of you for coming. This is just the beginning. Your will, NCS will continue to create platforms that will allow us to discuss how we can use emerging technology to enhance our work, our processes, and also contribute to national development. This is just the beginning, and I want to use this opportunity on behalf of our president and the National Executive Council to remind us that the big AI event is coming up in about a month from now, and that is our Artificial Intelligence and Robotics Summit that will be coming up in Kaduna between March 5 and March 7. Yes, I hope I've not missed the date. So I think it will also be very good for the Secretariat if they can share the flyer on this platform for people to look at, and even at the end of the day, send to all the people that have registered, people that have participated at this event. It's actually going to be a bigger AI event that we'll discuss AI, we'll discuss robotics, and then it's an international platform. So we want to use the opportunity to invite everyone to register and participate. You can participate virtually. You can also come to Kaduna to join us so that we can have an interesting summit together. On that note, I want to also say that on behalf of the President and Nigerian Computer Society, we thank all of you, and we will be expecting more contributions from you. And those of you, those people that are here, that are yet to register with Nigerian Computer Society, we will be expecting you to be part of us fully. And those of you that are not really financially stable with us, it is very important when you are a professional, when you are with us, be with us in everything, you know. So all the same, we appreciate everyone. We appreciate your support. feel free to visit the website of Nigerian Computer Society for membership, for anything, any inquiry that you have. I'm very sure you get a lot of support from our website, and we can continue further engagement from there. Thank you so much once again, everyone, and we will be meeting very soon. I'm very sure, by God's grace. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my immediate past president, for that wonderful remark. Now we want to call on Dr. Charles Onyoku to do the closing remark. He is right with us online. Thank you. Over to you. Dr. Charles, can you unmute?
Hello, are you hearing me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great, thank you. What other remark will I give other than the one that will be bigger than the one the immediate past president has just given? But all the same, I want to thank every one of you here on behalf of the president and the National Executive Council of the Nigeria Computer Society. I know you have enjoyed yourself. It's one thing to attend, it's another thing to put into practice everything that you have learned, because that's where the difference comes. And I know that we have other engagements, especially the one that is coming up in Kaduna. The IPP has already mentioned it. I just have to reemphasize it's important that you also make yourself available by registering and attending that AI Summit, which is coming on the 15th, between 5th and the 7th of March. It's very close to us. I want to thank every one of you, the speakers, the resource persons. I want to thank all of you for making yourself available and then assisting us in this program. All participants, I thank you for making time to come. I want to end here by saying a goodbye to every one of us until we meet again, especially in the AI Summit. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles Onyoku, the Deputy President. So on that note, we draw the closing of these programs to an end. So we appreciate all of you. Thank you once again, and bye-bye. Bye. Excellent.